Hey guys, welcome back. Today is a very exciting episode for me because today we're going to start the part of the project that I've been dreaming about since before I bought a kit. When I decided I wanted to do a new project, I knew the number one thing I wanted to do was a very custom body so that it looked different than anything else out there. So that's what we're going to do today. Guess what? We got an intro. Did you guys see that? That's new. My New Year's resolution was to be a better YouTuber. So I got the GoPro. I started doing some time lapse, but it was still very much mostly just shots of what I'd done, a little explanation, maybe a little bit of watching me work through a time lapse. That's kind of modeled after my favorite build series I've ever seen, which was Fast Things GTM build. But I've been watching more YouTube videos lately of other people doing builds, and it seems like really the way to go these days is to try and have some real close-up shots of you doing work, just speed it up. So we're going to try and go there. I'm also going to try and spend a lot more time on editing, because so far all it's been is just packing clips together and then uploading them, because I haven't had a lot of time for editing. But now that we're in my favorite part of the project, which is body work, I get to spend a lot of time waiting on fiberglass to cure and body filler to set up, paint to dry, so I'm going to have a lot more time to try and make the videos a little nicer for everybody. But today we're going to start the body work. The last video was the concepts, the sketches, so today we're actually going to get started on it. We're going to modify the driver's side quarter by filling in the fuel filler cap and reshaping the quarter panel scoop to feed air into the engine compartment. There's still a few things to hammer out on the car. I got to dial in the brakes as far as front to back bias, and a couple of signals not coming through the digital dash, but that's all stuff I can work on while fiberglass is curing and drying. So I had the video where I kind of went over the drawings and the concepts of what I want to change to the car, but this is the first piece, so we'll go over the piece, exactly what we're going to do to each piece. So the first thing I want to do is the scoops. I really want to open up. Let me stand this up here. Can't work on it standing up, but it's a lot easier to talk about what you want to do. So this upper line here goes like this, and what it does is it matches a line that's on the door that comes down like this. The thing is the line on the door is almost invisible. I've seen 2818s in person, and everyone I've ever seen in person, you can't really see this line, and so this being pointed up just looks funny to me. So I want my scoop to be bigger, both deeper and taller. So what I'm going to do is take the scoop and bring it up here, and then have it follow the body line back down, which means I got to move my gas cap, or I'm going to have a gas cap in the middle of my scoop. Since I have the Boyd tank instead of the Factory 5 tank, I got to do custom tubing for the gas line anyway. So I'm going to take the gas line filler, the gas filler, and move it from here and move it back here over the wheel. I'll have to make sure I got room for compression and all that. I mean, I probably only got to get it like right here. But this is going to move back some. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim out the recessed piece there, and I'm going to cover this side with a piece of flexible cardboard, and then from the back side I'm going to glass it in, and then we'll come back and put a little glass on the top here and then sand it all smooth. I don't know if this is how Chip Foose or David Kendig would do it, but how it gets done in my my little garage. I like cereal boxes or something of the like for like this, covering up a hole, because it's stiff enough to provide some backing, but thin enough that you can easily contour it to the shape of the body. And then I put some packing tape on it because the fiberglass won't stick to that. So I'm just going to take this piece here, put it on there, tape it down good and tight using the masking tape so that it hugs the contours, and then flip it over and start putting the glass on it. Actually, I need to rough up the backside with sandpaper, so I'll do that real quick. So the next time I buy fiberglass resin, I'm gonna buy the type that comes as a set with the resin and the catalyst with a pump, and you just put one pump of each and it mixes perfectly. But for now, I've got this stuff, and what I do is I keep one of these, I got a whole case of these paper cups, and I measured out 125 milliliters and drew a line, and this is my master. So every time I go to mix a batch, I pull my master out, I draw a line on a fresh cup, I put 125 milliliters of resin in it, and then based on the mixing ratios there, to get 2%, I need 2.5 milliliters, so I use a little medicine measuring cup to add 2.5 milliliters of catalyst. And then I find a nice big popsicle stick to stir it up with, and these little cheapo brushes that I bought 100 of for like 20 bucks on Amazon to spread it out. Fuel filler door is glassed in. It's not finished, but I don't want to finish it because I got more work to do in the area. So what I'm doing here is the tip of the scoop here is 4 inches off the top line, and so I carried that on through. So this straight line here is always 4 inches from the top of the quarter panel here. And then I took the line on the back and brought it up, and that's roughly what my holes are gonna look like. I mean, I gotta add some curvature at the top, right? Because I'm curved here and it was curved here, so I'm gonna add some curvature. But that's what my new scoop's gonna become right there. So I'm fixing to cut that out. Work, and you're doing body work, you can let some resin and a brush set, and then a little sandpaper will take that what's left of that paper cup off. If you did it in a plastic cup, you wouldn't have to do that. And makes a nice little paperweight. Put on your desk at work, people ask you what it is. So got the scoop contoured. So now what I have to do is I have to build a lip on it. On here and here there's no lip. It's thin. I thought about actually just trying to rebuild the entire wall, top and bottom, and close it all back in, but that's a lot of extra work. All I really need is a lip here and a lip that rolls around here to put my grill on. So I think I'm gonna wait on that actually, because what I want to do now is try to get that scoop to open up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna split it right down the middle into there, and the top half is already free, and see if I can't get it to just flex and swing back. This is what I'm talking about. From here, I gotta sit down to do this, but you can really see how aggressive that scoop looks now with the top line going up, going with the quarter panel instead of going against it. And then you can see how massive the intake will be. So that's going to hopefully feed air to my intercooler, and the one on the other side will feed air to the cold air intake. So now what I got to do is find something to hold it like it is, and then come in and put fiberglass in here, close in this section because the scoop only needs to be on the back. I had to figure out exactly how far up or down I want the hole to go. And then same thing on the top side. Got to glass that in so that this will stay where it is. So this is where it gets real fun. This is where it's going to get messy. We're going to lay a lot of glass, and I hope everything stays where I want it to stay while I'm doing that. Alright, I got the bottom glass, still got a metal stick holding it apart. Once that hardens, I'll flip it over. The top side will be a little harder because here I had a full bottom to bridge, but on the top, because I changed the angle, I don't have a top piece to build to, so I'm actually going to have to build a triangular piece there. I'll probably shape it out of some of that pink foam, stuff it up in there to give me something to shape around. Can't do that though really until this sets, and I can take it out and start flipping it over and handling it without worrying about messing up the fiberglass that's setting. Well, that certainly did not come out as smooth as I had hoped. Got a huge divot there, and a small one there. Actually, this entire edge doesn't run smooth, kind of bows in the middle. And it's just more glass work, right? But I think I really need to get my techniques a little better, or I am definitely going to wind up making a lot of extra body work for myself. So, and also, it's still just the tiniest bit tacky, but only where it was covered. So maybe now that it's uncovered, it'll firm on up. I gotta work on trying to make something for the top. Need to try and do the upper part of the scoop here. Once again, I'm using a cereal box because it gives me a nice flat edge. I forgot to put packing tape on this one. It's got to come out. So this edge and this edge, they're going to come up and form in the back, and then that cardboard's obviously not stiff enough. So what I've done is use some pink foam to make an actual shape, and it'll hold everything in there tight when I push it up in there. It'll push against it and hold it tight, but rather than spend the time to put sheetrock mud on this and sand it all smooth, this is already a very rough opening. It's going to take a lot of finishing work. My goal is that once I get this one finished, I can tape it up and fill it with expanding foam, pull that out, photogrammetry it, because it's a nice small piece. I think I'll be successful in doing that. And then 3D invert it in the model and 3D print it for the other side. So gotta get packing tape on this one, and then get this pushed up in there and secured, and then I'll come to the back side and lay the glass right here. Well, 2 layers of fiberglass, and I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but that is extended all the way up. And this lip here is extended all the way up. You might be able to see it a little better from the back side. So, I got to come in obviously and trim the top here, and then trim this piece here. And then I'll have to close up the top there. And then I've got to extend the inside edge up as well. I didn't do much filming today, but it's just more of the same, right? Put some cardboard down, put some fiberglass on. I trimmed the bottom 3 walls that I'd already made, and then I made a top wall, and then I made the upper back. I still got to trim that one. It's got a couple more hours to cure, and that puts it all roughed in. So from there, I got to come back with some what I call peanut butter. It's resin with some chopped strands or beads in it to give it structure and fill in like these little gaps here. Smooth it out, and then get the sanding blocks and the sandpaper out and get these lines perfectly straight and start getting all the surfaces flat and smooth and ready for primer. Alright, still plugging away on the quarter panel. As you can see, I'm making a lot of paperweights because I keep making up too much resin. I'd rather have enough than have to try and be quickly mixing up some in the middle of a layup. So that's what I've been doing. I probably also just need to find some smaller cups so that I'm not a tendency to mix up so much. I got two things going on. First, I came through on the front and I mixed up some peanut butter. I mentioned that previously. To fill in where there were like gaps in the corners where the cardboard forms didn't meet up square. So this is some peanut butter, and it's called such because consistency looks like peanut butter. Got it on my finger. Use these. There's just silica beads, micro beads. You buy them specifically for this purpose. It's called silica thickener. You mix it with a little resin, or about a 1-to-1 ratio, and you wind up with this stuff. And it's thick like peanut butter, so it's real easy to put in and spread on, and it stays in place, and you can level it fairly well using like a body filler type spreader, or I've just been using the big popsicle sticks because I'm only roughing in right now. So I came through and filled the cracks and the grooves, and then I finished trimming out the upper level here. You can see it better from the back, except for it's half gone. Then what I did was I took the 80 grit on the DA and I knocked down all the rough stuff on the outside here, and then I came back and started knocking out the rough stuff on the back side. And what I found was I had a bunch of voids. So when I did the Mustang, I did a lot of fiberglass part fitting, you know, shave here, sand here, add there. I've never really tried to form anything from scratch like I am now, so this is all new to me. But I went up with a lot of voids. So as you can see, this all sanded out here. This upper corner, about a third of it sanded out, some here, some there. Almost the entire back lip here sanded out. And then I had some big voids here and here and here that weren't structural, but I ground them out anyway. What caused the edge here to have a lot of voids was the fact that the cardboard form, or the foam, actually I had a foam piece on this one, dipped down just a little bit below the edge that was already here in fiberglass, and so what that created was a hump like this, and the fiberglass couldn't roll over it and it left a void. The other ones were just where I didn't get enough pressure with the brush to push the resin all the way into it. So two things. First of all, I ordered these tools, which are made to help you roll all the air out and get the resin into the fiber really good. So on the flat pieces, that would have helped a bunch. Probably would not have helped on this upper edge here. So what I've done was I got as much of it as I could with the DA, and then I came back with some 80 grit on the block and got it. And then it was still not quite flat, so I just came back with a layer of peanut butter and smoothed it over. And when that dries, I'll have a nice flat surface here. I should be able to get a good wrap on there with some fiberglass. So I'm going to come back and rebuild this corner here so that it's good and strong. And then once I've done that, I'll sand it smooth on the corner here to make sure I don't have any interference there, and then I'll come back and rebuild this edge again. So, all right, I'm on day 6 of working on the scoop for the driver's quarter panel. I gave up trying to do body work inside. It just creates too much dust. So I set up one of these little tents in the driveway. HOA can invite me. I'll send a letter and I'll take it down for a couple of days and then I'll put it back up. So I'm working out here in the shade. It's just been a lot of the same fiberglass. Today I did finally move to Bondo glass, which, by the way, Bondo sucks, but it's what I could get locally. I ordered some better stuff online. A couple of things have really been eating up the time. The first of them was this corner up here. It's just really hard to get to because you can't sand through it. No matter what angle you come from, you hit something. So it's real tedious. You can't use a block. You can't use disc sander. I can't get the Dremel up in there, even with the little attachment on it. I can't get a block up in there. I just got to go up in there with some sandpaper on my fingers. I'm getting real close though. The other thing that I've been working on right now is this piece right here. The edge came up great here, and then whenever I made the cardboard in here, I guess to build this back edge up, I guess it flexed a little bit because it came up and then it rolled. It actually looked fine. I sanded it all smooth and it looked beautiful. But then I realized if I wanted to put a grill or a grate here, it was going to have to twist, or it was not going to sit flush. So I've been sanding this back to get it to have a continuous angle through here. I'm getting real close. I got to take a little more off here, and then I actually got to build up a little bit here. Just going to use some Bondo hair to build up this little corner right here, and then take it smooth with a block. Had to rebuild the edge here a little bit, and then building this point here. Taking some time. I'm a little bit off right now. It's just a little bit high. You can see a little right there is an inflection point. So come out with just a little bit more Bondo hair right here. Straighten that off. Get that edge square, and then get this edge square. And then I'll be ready for lightweight body filler to just smooth everything. I decided to move to the backyard. Set my tent out back here. I don't have to worry about the HOA. It's a lot cooler back here anyway because the grass soaks up and gives off a lot less heat than the concrete driveway. And also the house provides shade until about 2:30, 3 o'clock. So it stays cool over here. The sun doesn't even get here till 2, 3 o'clock. The tent will keep some shade right where I'm at. So this is definitely the coolest spot in my yard. Other than I guess there's a little tiny spot between my house and the neighbor's house where the sun only shines when it's straight up. But not enough room to work over there. So this is day number 7. I started last Friday. It's Friday again, and I finally have the scoop where I want it for now. It's not ready for paint, but the whole panel's not ready for paint. I mean, there's cavities all over the thing from factory 5. So I got the scoop in about as good a shape as the rest of the panel is. So that's all I need for now. My goal is to get all the modifications made, put all the panels on the car, get the gaps fit, make any modifications necessary to make them fit. Once I've got the modifications and the gaps done, then I'll pull it off and finish each panel one at a time by, blocking it with a guide coat, finding all the low spots, finding all the voids, filling all the voids, filling all the low spots, blocking it again, and getting it ready for paint. So that's it. That quarter panel's done. I'm ready to move on to the passenger side. So hoping to be able to use this to generate the passenger side by either 3D scanning it or just modeling it. It's simple enough I can probably model it once I've got a piece of this. So, all right guys, that's it for this week's video. Here's what the scoop looks like all in one color. I very much appreciate you guys taking the time out of your life to watch my videos and give me comments and suggestions on ways I can do things better or things that I'm doing completely wrong. If you know anybody who's interested in doing this kind of stuff, encourage them to check out the channel. Really, what I get out of it is the comments to keep me from screwing stuff up. So, you guys have a great week. I'll see you next week.